Hi guys! So today I am very excited. I am here to show you guys how to make our coffee table. And I posted this on Instagram a few weeks ago after building one and I am loving it. Everyone was asking how we make it. And so this is hi Huck, what are you doing? So anyways, this is a plan that is my favorite plan because it is something that we did not get off the internet. It's the very first thing we have ever built from our minds. Like, we do not follow a plan, we just thought about what we wanted and built it. And that's a big deal to me because it was actually kind of hard. So I'm very excited. We have our coffee table. It's super easy, super simple, and surprisingly inexpensive. Considering coffee tables run in the upper hundreds to 200s range. And to top it off, even the DIY coffee tables we found on like Pinterest were still like $80 to $90 to build, and I'm like, that's bananas. There's no way we should be spending $90 on something we have to make ourselves ever. So here is how we made our coffee table. Okay guys, for this DIY you're going to need 5 2x2s and 6 2x4s, which I have here. Of course, a screwdriver, some screws, a hammer, some nails, some stain, a cloth to stain on, and a brush and a wipe to wipe it away. Also optional is sanding, but I 100% recommend it, and some wood glue. Now make your measurements and prepare to cut, and as everyone always says, measure twice, cut once. And I also always measure after I've cut to make sure it's to the centimeter what it's supposed to be, and it really helps everything turn out perfectly. So here I am just making my cut, and I always do a tiny little test and then I go all the way through with my cutting. And my go-to trick that I totally recommend everyone do is keep one piece as your key. So if you're cutting multiples, like you need a few at a certain length, I use one piece to always mark it, and it really keeps everything stay the exact same. Here are all the pieces you will need. I will have an entire cut list down below along with all the wood you need to buy, and this is all of them laid out. So you're going to need your 2x2s at 40 inches, your 2x2s at 21¼ inches, and your 6 2x4s at 37 inches. Push them all together and arrange them as your tabletop, and make sure you choose what side you want as the top and leave those face up. Now you're going to grab one of your 2x2s cut at 40 inches and one of your 2x2s cut at 21¼ inches, and you're going to screw them together at the corner. And so you're basically creating the frame that is the entire outside. Right now you just need the 3 pieces put together so that you can at this point slide in your other pieces. Justin right here is just marking a line right down the middle so that all our screws are completely even, because you can see them once you're done. And so like I said, create this U shape with your 2x2s and put your wood glue down, and then start adding your 2x4s, and they should slide in snugly. Sometimes you might need a hammer. And so just kind of go with it.
your hole and then screw it in. Continue this all the way up. There should be 6 pieces that make up this, and then add your final top 40-inch 2x2 and screw it all together. So now we are starting on the legs. Grab your 2x2s, cut it 16.5 inches, and make a line 4 inches up, and this will be the bottom of where your shelf hits. And it's just good to make these markings so that you make sure everything's even. And so just take your other leg and make the same mark across it. So here Justin is taking the 16.5-inch leg and attaching it to the siding that is going to be part of the bottom shelf, that is your 2x2 cut at 17.5 inches, and he's just screwing it together, and then of course repeat with a 16.5-inch piece on the other side, making an H shape. Now, once you have both legs done, grab your 40-inch 2x2 and drill it into your leg piece. As you can see, we are just repeating this on the other side, where we're adding the other 40-inch piece to connect to the legs, and this is kind of creating your base. Then you're going to take your last 17.5-inch piece and place it right at the bottom, make sure it's flush with everything, and just screw it in. And of course, mirror on the other side so you create this whole base type thing. Okay guys, I definitely forgot to explain to you how to do the shelf. Our camera must have died. So essentially you're going to take your 5 2x4s, cut it 33 inches, push them together and leave them face side down so the bottom is facing up. You're going to put a piece slightly smaller than it on the bottom and nail it all so they all stay together. And then add your other two pieces, your other 2x2s that are cut at 40 inches, and nail them onto that, and then just slide your piece into that base we created earlier and just nail it in. So this is just Justin adding the screws into our base to hold in that bottom shelf. So he puts a screw on either side, and then he's gonna go down the middle of all of these things and make sure they are flush, and then add a screw to hold in each board as we go along, and then of course flip it over and do everything the exact same on the other side. Now at this point you should have your base with your bottom shelf attached and your top shelf. So take your top shelf and put the right side down, and then you're going to take your base and position it on top and then just screw it in. Once you have everything even, just screw it in, and Justin puts 3 screws on the long side and 2 on the short side. You can do anything. Just make sure you use only about 2.5 inch screws so that they don't go all the way through to the top. As always, sand with a very low grit and a very high grit sandpaper, giving it a very soft feel, and then stain whatever color you would like. And because this is a coffee table that will be used with drinks, make sure to seal it. Here is the finished product, guys. We absolutely love this coffee table. It took a few days for the sealant to dry, but once it did, we immediately had it in our living room, and we've been using it for a couple weeks now. It has been amazing, and we love it.
Okay guys, that is how we did it. I hope you guys love it. It is so easy, so simple. It just took time. We've actually built 2 now, one for a girl who lives here in my hometown. She contacted me and said, do you want to build this for me? I said, absolutely. I love building, and especially since she's local, I would love to be able to build stuff for you guys all the time and send it, but I can't imagine the shipping on something like this. Like, there's no way someone would want to pay for this, like this, just the shipping. And so she lives in my hometown locally, and I was like, absolutely, I would love to build that for you. I will get working on it right now. And so I built hers, and the second we finished hers, I was like, we need it. I love it. I need one. And so we went to the lumber store, bought our lumber, and built a second one. And the second time around, it actually only took us like 45 minutes to start to finish. And that's like cutting wood, assembling everything, whereas the first time we built it, cutting and assembling took about 4 hours. So it's amazing that it was so easy that the second time around our time got cut in way more than half. So I really hope you guys like it. If you do, like and subscribe and comment down below any type of like DIY or DIY furniture, anything you guys might want to see in the future, because we are looking for new projects. We just aren't quite sure where we want to go with them yet. But that is all for this video, so I'll see you guys later. Bye!